ready? Okay, welcome to The Current. So glad that you've tuned in today and got some awesome guests with me today. Actually, we have beautified the platform with three beautiful ladies today. So you don't see me, okay? You don't see the senior citizen up here. But we just encourage you, we're going to be talking about recovery today, going to be talking about Naomi's house, and so I encourage you to share, maybe share a link with somebody right now. To my left is Shannon. Shannon is recovery coach and prevention specialist at MBH. Then we have Chris to my far left. Chris is the house manager at Naomi's house, and she loves every minute of it. To my right is Lakin, and she is a resident at Naomi House, as well as a marketing assistant in the new job or the new business they have created for the ladies at Naomi's house. So we're excited about what we're going to share today. There'll be some numbers flash up on the screen. If you need some information about recovery or you know somebody that does, there'll be information about Naomi's house, about some events, fundraising events. I didn't say fundraising, I said fundraising, which is not fun, but it's for a good cause. So we're excited about this day. First of all, I'm going to ask Chris a question. Chris, tell me a little bit about Naomi House.
Naomi House is a 10-bedroom, possibly 12-bedroom house. 5 rooms are for moms and their children. The children that come to live there are under the age of 4. We have 5 other rooms for just women that need a place to live. It's a sober living house for women that's in recovery that desires to have a better living by being in recovery.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
It's real exciting.
It is, isn't it? To see people help. That's
Yes.
what life is all about, is to help somebody else down this path of life. And we all know this well, that if we have been down a path and somebody else has never been down that path before, we can share and take that person by the hand actually and say, hey, it's not as scary as it appears. I've been down this path before and we can make it together. Let me help you. And that's what recovery is all about, is helping other people. When you find some help, pass it on to somebody else. Chris, what does a typical day at the Naomi house look like? Is there such a thing as a typical day?
We try. Most of the ladies get up at 9 o'clock in the morning to get their day started so we can get into some sort of a routine. They do a morning meditation so they can start their day off good. And then they also, most of the ladies have IOP, which is intense outpatient therapy. Kind of helps them get educated in recovery, in daily living. And then they have a Zoom noon meeting. And after that, they get ready for supper. Some of them go out to jobs. In the evenings, we have crafting. We take them out to meetings. Actually, it's a very busy day. We try to keep the ladies engaged into positive things in their life.
Mm-hmm. That's important to stay busy, isn't it?
Yes.
It's been said that an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Yes.
So if you keep the mind busy and focused on good things come out of it. One other question here, Chris, is how is recovery actives incorporated into the Naomi House mission? Or activities, is it?
Activities. Well, we take them out to meetings. It's kind of difficult now with the COVID. We also have ladies come in and tell their story to the women and share their experience, strength, and hope. They also come down here to the church for some of the meetings that they have in faith-based for recovery. They do activities with Shannon and with Stephanie for prevention. And I'll let Shannon explain a little bit more on that. We tried to do fun things. We want the girls to realize that life's serious. There's things that we have to do, like become an adult, but also sobriety is fun.
Yes.
We're not a glum lot by any means. We enjoy life.
That's good. That's great. Shannon, how are life skills incorporated into the Naomi curriculum, life skills?
Okay, so there's a lot of ways. Two that I would specifically like to talk about because I'm involved with them are a couple groups that I do. The first one is a parenting program that I do. It's a 6-week curriculum, evidence-based curriculum that we do with the ladies. Like Chris had said, a lot of the ladies are just getting reunified with their children or gaining custody back of their children. So we're able to help them learn to be better parents and gain skills that they may not have had before. So that's one that I love to do. The next one that I do is a self-esteem curriculum. It's an 11-week program, and it's a great program. We help with grieving, healing wounds, learning to take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves. And we talk about making decisions, facing challenges. You know, there's just a lot that is incorporated in that program. Another one that I'm really excited about, we haven't started yet, but we're getting ready to, is a literacy program for the mothers and their children. We're hoping to have that started soon, and our goal is to have the mothers reading with their children at least 20 minutes a day. So those are some of the ones that I'm working on currently.
That's good. You're teaching life skills, real life skills. And sad to say, some of us miss out on those when we're young. Maybe being raised in a dysfunctional home or whatever. And so to see, I gain a greater appreciation for MBH all the time. Steve Carroll has been a longtime friend. In fact, clear back when I started in ministry, and this little girl was not around yet, Steve Carroll and I became a friend. And he was just starting in his profession in Zanesville. And I had a great appreciation for recovery back then. Having been a recovering addict myself, I have a great appreciation for that. And it's funny because years ago I was asked to come out to our local college and talk about how recovery and faith mixed together. And I was just a young man. I'm in my 20s, an assistant pastor, and I'm going in a college setting before a professor and answer this question. But it went real good because I've always had a heart for whatever benefits and helps people in recovery. That's if it's helping people, it's a good thing. So we don't need professional pride. That we got rid of that years ago, and we're just out to help one another. So Shannon, is there a group of some kind that can help family and friends who have loved ones struggling with addictions?
Absolutely. MBH has a group called Family and Friends. It meets every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. It just recently, they were meeting at Christ's Table. They just recently had to move to Zoom meetings. So anyone interested in attending that could contact Stephanie Hines at Muskegon Behavioral Health to get the invite to be included in the Zoom meeting.
Great. Well, to my right, we have Lakin. And I've known her for about 26 years. Yes. And Lakin, would you tell us what Naomi's house has done for you? What's it mean to you to be a part of that house?
It's like a part of a family that I could have never dreamed of having. They've taught me independence, how to be independent, how to work, how to have a work ethic, structure, having a daily schedule. They give me so much support with the ladies there at Naomi. Also, they taught me how to have integrity, to do what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it, to be reliable. And the biggest thing I can say about Naomi House is they loved me until I could love myself, because when I first came in to recovery and when I was in an active addiction, I didn't love myself. And I didn't know how to love or to be loved. So with my family at Naomi, they really taught me how to be able to do that.
That's great, Lakin. Thank you for sharing that. Can you tell me about the bakery program you're a part of implementing there for Naomi's house?
Absolutely. It's called Sweet Life Baking Company. We make bundt cakes. They are partners with MBH and Naomi House, so some of their profits come to us. Our mission statement is to help women one cake at a time. So I'm really just blessed to be a part of that. I've always liked to help people, but I had to let myself be helped first. So Naomi House got me a safe, reliable job. Yeah. So.
That's a good thing, isn't it? And like you mentioned, a safe job. Sometimes coming out of in your process or your road to recovery, you can get back into an environment that's not really healthy for you.
Yes.
So you're around other people that are on the same journey that you're on. You're helping one another, supporting one another.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Well, I've seen you grow so much and your confidence level grow so much since you've become a part. And I know Chris Headley, the director of prevention there with MBH, is very proud of you, and the whole team is very proud of you. And all the ladies, we've become like family.
Yeah.
And my wife and I are very active in the group. My wife more than I am, but some of them call me Papaw, and some of the other ladies call me Papaw and Mamaw too. And that's a good thing, because we want everybody to know it doesn't matter what you've done in your past. You have value, and you are loved. You have potential. And I look at people for what they can become, not where they're at right then.
Right.
And if you've never been an addict, you might struggle with that, with having any patience or understanding for an addict at all. And so the best thing you can do is just pray and keep your mouth shut, okay? Maybe that's a little bit too blunt, okay? But just pray, all right? Don't criticize. Okay. Chris, back to you. Are there any other current fundraisers the community can help with at this time?
Yes, right now we're having, we partnered with McDonald's Mums, and I have a order sheet. They've got several different colors, and we get a part of every mum that we sell. I can have the order sheet left here, and also you can contact me at MBH or on Facebook under Chris Wicker and get orders. It's just going so good, and the mums are just absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
and
I
it's
love it.
helping our ladies be able to do activities. Like a couple of weeks ago, they all went to Zumbizi Bay, and I said it right. We go for rides in the van, and we just do so many wonderful things with these ladies. And by having these fundraisers, it helps us help them be more active in the community.
That's great. Well, fall's coming up, and we
Yes.
can all use some beautiful mums.
We're also going to have a pumpkin sell. One of the girls is going to get us a few truckloads of pumpkins in October. So we're
Okay.
going to do that as a fundraiser also.
Oh, those are hot items in
Yes.
the fall.
Yes.
Okay, Chris, also, what are other ways the community can help the Naomi House?
We're always ready for donations. Most of our clothing and donations go through Eastside, and then Eastside helps us. We take our girls to Eastside if they don't have any clothing and stuff. Anybody can always sponsor one of the rooms. Our rooms are in alphabetical order, so if you want to sponsor a room for a month, 2 months, 6 months, that always helps the girls get on their feet. Because most of the girls, when they come to Naomi, they're like starting their life completely over. Some of them they don't even have only the shirt and pants on their back. So any donations like that, just contact MBH or Chris Headley or me.
That's good. Shannon, this COVID makes a challenging time for everybody, but possibly especially challenging for people in recovery. How can loved ones help people in recovery during this time?
So I think this one is is pretty simple, which is staying connected, letting them know that you're there, whether it's a phone call, a text, a letter, a card, just something to let them know they're not alone. And, COVID does make this hard, but they don't have to do it alone. It may be different with COVID challenges, but, just being there for them.
Good. Yeah, it's so important in recovery to have people to talk to, and this is, now we're talking to a screen, and thank God for the technology.
Yes.
But a phone call, to hear somebody's voice. Sometimes people text me and I'm saying, I want to hear your voice, call me. And it makes a difference. Chris and Shannon, what are some of the joyous things that you get to witness at Naomi House?
I think there's so many, but one that sticks out the most to me, especially being involved with the parenting, is seeing them reconnect with their children and seeing that bond, form again. It's just amazing.
That's so rewarding, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, Chris.
One of our most frequent rewards was one of our ladies that lives at Naomi. She hasn't had a driver's license.
Oh.
And it just warms my heart because we don't realize that a driver's license is such a privilege. And she finally worked so hard to get her driver's license back, and that little sense of freedom, which scares me on one end, but it's like, I'm so proud of her. We're becoming adults here.
Yes.
So, and seeing a mom with their children and watching them play and becoming the moms that they so want to be is so rewarding, and reconnecting, that you can just see their eyes and the children's eyes of the love. And I think that's one of the most important things that we have at Naomi is the love, because a lot of us didn't know what that was.
No.
And the COVID makes it a little difficult because we're huggy and we like to hug each other. And but the Naomi girls, there's such a bond between them. And once you're a Naomi girl, you're always a Naomi girl.
Yes.
We follow up, and it's just one big happy family.
How many children's there at the house right now?
There's 3 children that lives there, and then the moms get to have their children there every other weekend.
Okay. I heard there was 9 the other night.
There was 12. And I love our house moms, which is something I haven't mentioned. We've got fantastic house moms that are so good with these ladies. Cass and Haley and Rachel. Our house moms are good moms, and they also help our ladies become good moms.
Yeah.
So they set really good examples.
That is wonderful.
Yes, that was an interesting night. I painted with them the other night, and the small children wanted to paint also. That was fun.
Yes.
We all had paint everywhere.
I'm sure. A little
But
messy.
They love it. They all love it.
Well, that's what life's all about, is
Very
helping
blessed.
somebody else, putting a smile on somebody else's face. And we've got a few minutes here. I want to talk about the path to recovery. I think recovery is a journey. It's not a destination.
Right.
It's for the rest of our lives. The moment you get on that path and you start down that path to recovery, there's a marked change. There's a lot of good things that take place right then, but a lot of things are not restored until maybe years on down the road. A person, their way of thinking has to change. Just because you don't go and you don't maybe hang out with the same people you used to hang out with, still your thinking has to be reprogrammed. I'd like to read a passage of scripture found in Luke chapter 15. It's about the prodigal son. I think we've all heard about the prodigal son, but maybe some people haven't. Chapter 15, verse 11. And Jesus said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that fall to me. So he says, give me my inheritance now. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after, the young man gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there he wasted it, all of his substance, on riotous living. In other words, it was just a party, one great big party life, until eventually the party's over. The lights are out, the pocket's empty, and the soul's empty, and a lot of guilt sets in. And it goes on to say, and not many days after the young son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, there wasted his substance in riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be in want and in need. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into the field to feed swine. Now, I don't know about you, but I was raised on a farm. Feeding pigs is not fun, okay? It's a necessity, but they have an odor to them. Well, here's a young man that was raised by a father that took good care of him, had everything he ever wanted. Now he finds himself working in a hog pen, a pig pen, and the pigs were eating better than he was. So his rough way of living, I call it a rough road of addiction, led him to a pig pen, led him to a lot of heartache, a lot of regret. He thought about how good his daddy had been unto him, and thank God he got on that road to recovery. That first step is the hardest step, isn't it? That first step in recovery is the hardest. The scripture goes on to say that this boy came to himself. We've got to come to ourselves, don't we, to where we realize, hey, this isn't working, has to be some changes. I like this thought here. You will never change until the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of change. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think, oh, it's too hard, it's too painful to change. But when the pain of staying where you're at in the addiction exceeds that, you have to make some decisions. It's hard. I remember the first step that I took. Chris, tell me a little bit about your first step. Was it difficult on your road to recovery?
Oh, yes. I had to go to, my last drunk was the worst. I was in a total blackout. I woke up the next morning. I had pills all around me. I was very angry because I was alive, and my soul had gone. I didn't want to be a part of the world any longer. And the first thing I did was call somebody from Recovery, and they said they would meet me at a meeting, and I just wanted to dump all my pain on them, and they said, no, we'll see you at a meeting. So being humble enough to go walk through the doors again and ask for help, there's such a freedom in that.
Yes.
And connecting with other people that has went through the same pain I have, and has the same freedom that we all have.
Yes.
So recovery is just amazing. I never thought it would be as amazing as it is. We have our ups and downs, but our perception on how we deal with our ups and downs is so much different because we can face them, and we have people to be around us to help us. And then I found the God of my understanding through the 12 steps of recovery, which is totally amazing.
Yes, amen. That's wonderful. Somebody said if you won't admit it, you won't quit it.
That's true.
You have to come to a place that you admit. The American way is the blame game, isn't it? It's always somebody else's fault. The reason I do this is your fault. And until we come to a place that we will admit, at age 23, I admitted, I am a mess. And I had lived in denial up until that time. I had convinced myself, I'm okay, I'm normal. These other people, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody else is happy. I looked at people that didn't use drugs and think, oh, I feel so sorry for you. And they're looking at me saying, you're a mess, boy. But I didn't accept that. When I finally hit a brick wall, God was right there, had somebody there to invite me to church, to show me that you can change. And at churches where I found the Lord, people find the Lord through AA, and thank God for AA. Like I said earlier, anything that helps people is a good thing. And so what a journey it is. That first step's scary though, isn't it? That first step, once you take it, like you said, it's liberating.
Yes.
You felt great. You felt the burden was lifted, wasn't it?
Yes.
And the tears flow, and it's like an inner pressure valve that's released, and you do feel better.
Yes.
And when you come to understand that God's not mad at you, you're mad at yourself. Maybe you made some other people mad at you, but God's not mad at you. He loves you. Right. And the prodigal son came to himself. He went home. When his father saw him coming down that dusty road, the father went running to him, had compassion on him, hugged him, and kissed his son. Said, "Son, I am glad you're home." Son says, "Let me just work for you as a hired hand. I don't deserve to be a son." And he said, "You are my son. You always was, and you always will be." And he restored complete sonship to him, and put a robe on him, put shoes on his feet. And see, slaves did not have shoes in that day. So he didn't have any shoes. But now he comes home, Dad gives him his freedom back, gives him his pair of shoes. So to think of how much God loves us and cares about us, and if God will forgive us, then we got to forgive ourselves, don't we?
Yes.
That's part of this recovery. Kind of the last thing I want to focus in on this road to recovery is the thought that we can't do this by ourselves. We need one another.
Right.
That's what AA is all about, isn't it?
Yes.
Shannon, you have something you want to share about that? Needing one another?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. You can't do this alone, and it's so important to have people around you to support you and uplift you and help you see the things that you don't see in yourself initially, to help push you forward and can help you continue on your journey.
To be an encourager, but yet a teacher.
Yes.
At the same time. And it's hard sometimes for us to take that. But if we see somebody's heart, that they really love us and care about us, then we can listen to what they have to say, even if it's a little bit critical, but if it's done in the right way. I know, Lakin, you've made some great friends in recovery, and what's that mean to you? What's that done for you?
When I was in active addiction and my other stints of sobriety, I didn't know how to be a friend. I didn't know how to accept friendship. Because I was always selfish, and if you didn't have anything that I needed, then you weren't anything to me. And it's just taught me so much. I never really allowed myself to be a friend to anybody or for anybody to be a friend to me. So it's amazing today to have those friends that you can count on, that you can talk to, that are there no matter what. They don't want anything from you. They're just there to be an amazing friend.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels so good to be. I was like you. I didn't know how to be a friend. I didn't have a best friend.
Right.
I was married and didn't have a best friend for years. And a lot of problems in the relationship because of me, my insecurities, and my problems. So when we think about needing one another, we can't do life alone. We need one another. And I thought I'd heard an illustration some time ago about the giant sequoia trees. I love those. They're fascinating. They're 30 feet in diameter, thick, 250 feet high, and they always grow in groves. You never see them one by itself. The reason being is that for a tree that size, it has a weak root system. It has very shallow, there's no tap root. The roots are very shallow. They'll go 200-300 feet, but what they do is they intertwine with the roots. You know where I'm going now.
Yep.
They intertwine with the roots of the other trees. And a friend of mine went to California And he asked a forest ranger, he said, why did this one giant sequoia tree fall? It was laying on the ground. He said, it disconnected its roots from the other trees. He said, disconnected, okay. If we disconnect ourselves from people that love us, that really care about us, we're gonna fall. But if we stay connected and bound together, there's nothing that we can't make it through together.
Yes.
Yes. Iron sharpens iron, like a steel file sharpens a steel knife, and that's what we do. We sharpen one another. We benefit. We put a smile on one another. Well, anything else you want to share about recovery? About you want to one more time go over the fundraisers coming up?
The fundraisers are several different. There's 2 sizes, small and large mums. There's yellow, lavender, orange, and one more.
Purple.
Purple.
There you go.
Okay, no, that's lavender. But
Yes.
it's on the webpage, and you can get a hold of me on Facebook for those. It's so amazing to help these ladies become the ladies they've always wanted to be. And by having these fundraisers, we can help them with other things also.
Great.
And the pumpkins.
Yes, the pumpkin's coming up.
Yes.
Anything you want to share, Shannon, before we close out? Okay. Lakin, anything else?
Yes, I just kind of wanted to give everybody a background on what the Sweet Life Baking Company really is. This is our story. We are more than a baking company, striving to provide a hand up to women in need. We have employed some of the best women to help in the production and building of the business. We provide reentry jobs, education on career readiness, budgeting, skill development, credentials for future employment, and a support network to be successful, sober, and to better be able to take care of their families. This business, they came to Naomi House, and we pretty much built it from the ground up. We just launched last Saturday at the farmers market. Was our first time actually selling our cakes. And this week we got many orders. It went really well. But supporting the Sweet Life Baking Company is also supporting MBH and Naomi and Women in Recovery. So I just wanted to make that clear.
I've got to confess, I was going to take one bite of that cake, and I ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
At bedtime. I don't do that, but I did. So take one bite in the morning, okay? Not at night, not at bedtime. They were delicious, though. Very, very good.
We're also going to be at the farmers market this week, too.
Up at Adornetto's
Yes.
Yes, we'll
Farmers.
be at Adornetto's Farmers Market this Saturday and next Saturday. So make sure you stop up and see us.
Yes. Put a smile on your face, I promise you. One other thing before we close, and that is our School of Ministry. I've taught, it's like a Bible college. I've taught that for 13 years now. It's a 714 course ministry tool, basically. And it's coming up the first Tuesday night in September the 1st, 7 to 10. If you're interested in that, contact the church. You can go on our webpage and find us there also. We would love to have you a part of our School of Ministry. It will prepare you for whatever type of ministry God has for you. So at this time, I'm just going to say thank you for these beautiful ladies that have made me look better today. Thank you for all of the ministry that you do, the help that you give to so many people. We appreciate MBH being partners with MBH and Steve Carroll. Great people, down to earth, just good salt of the earth people. So God bless you. Have a great day, and we love you, and walk that recovery out. Amen.